In search of local trails I've not traveled, I came upon the Glen Run Nature Preserve. It's just off of Route 191 in Stroudsburg, very near the entrance to the Stroudsmore Inn. Opening in 2015, the 182 acres are open to biking, hiking, and fishing. On my first hike here, I had just discovered the trail the day before, so I knew only a little about its history. What I did know a bit about was Samuel Collins and his Churleigh Inn that once stood out in this area. Born in 1846, Samuel was unfortunate to be the seventh son to a family that believed in the seventh son curse. It is said his father even went so far as to hold a mock funeral for the boy, casting him out of the family from the fear that he might otherwise bring bad luck. Early in the hike, I came upon this rock wall formation, but I knew I wasn't near the inn at this point in time. It was overcast this day with a slight rain at times, and so for most of this hike, I was the only one out here that I was aware of. At one point, you can go off the main trail for a view of the Cherry Valley. The majority of it lies within the southeastern portion of Monroe County and is 31,500 acres in size. In 2008, 20,466 acres became the Cherry Valley National Wildlife Refuge, protecting the important habitats of many threatened species. On this day, I wanted to at least see this small unnamed lake in the middle of the area. What I found so intriguing is its natural state with no direct trails, park benches, beaches, or docks. It just laid there in an untouched manner with only the sight of some ducks out on the other side. A little bit of rain and some fatigue meant the search for the inn would have to continue on another day. But the serenity of this area made today's trip worth it, and I'm looking forward to the next opportunity soon. I returned a week later to cooler temps, but this time no rain and the bit of sun that was welcomed. Having looked over the trail map a bit more, I was ready to get to the site of what was left of the Churleigh Inn. We just had quite a bit of rainfall the day before, and so some portions of the trail were acting as pathways of water runoff. The Churleigh Inn was originally known as Churleigh Hall, which was built as a summer home for $100,000. It had a man-made lake, perhaps the one I visited a week ago, stables with thoroughbred horses, and a hanging garden. Later, this home was turned into an inn around the time the Collins finances began to run into trouble. Samuel Collins had a checkered past as an art dealer, where there were court cases involving fraudulent artworks he had sold. In addition, he and his wife suffered through the mysterious death of their adopted daughter Lillian, which appeared to be a suicide. A detailed article on Samuel's life is linked in the description below for those who would like to learn more. To the south, I caught sight of a modern structure that I had read about. It was built long after the Churleigh Inn, and it was a sign I was getting close. I could also see the view it once had of Strasbourg through the trees that have grown in since. I couldn't tell what this building was used for, but it was obvious it wasn't a residence, and it also wasn't from the time period of the inn. Not far from this site was the stone foundation of the Churleigh Inn. It suffered a fire in 1931 and later became known as the Mountain Crest Lodge under new ownership. By the late 1960s, the building was bought by developers who had it taken down with a controlled fire. The only information I can find on the Mountain Crest Lodge is this 1940s postcard, which is obviously the lake I was at last week, and so it looks at one time it was known as the Mountain Crest Lake. One of the most impressive of the remains is this large stone stairway. I've come across abandoned pools in my explorations, but never one out in the middle of nowhere. Its layer of algae added to the eeriness, and the fact that it was Halloween that day made it all the more creepy. This was probably not part of the original inn. Maybe it was added on in the 50s or 60s. I pulled this branch out of the water, showing the level as high as my shoulders. I could see evidence of a temporary fence that was around it, but it had long been knocked down. This is the view the Churleigh Inn had in its day. I sent the drone up quickly just to see what the view might look like if the inn was still around. There is more trail to explore in this preserve. It's definitely a place I'm going to return to soon. Perhaps there are more clues from the past waiting to be visited. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you down the road.